Have you ever wondered what it would be like to visit your favorite fictional town by your favorite author? Well, if you ever want to know what it's like, take a look at A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. I recently read this story and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the what if, like what would you do if you ended up in your favorite fictional town? And you've read all the stories, you know the storylines, you know exactly what's going on, but the story's not going the way that you think it's going. Would you step in and try and change the story? Would you want your characters to get this happily ever after ending? Or would you want the characters to follow their true story that should ultimately happen? So what would you do? And that's what happens when Elsie finds herself in her favorite fictional town. And I really enjoyed the idea of, I've read the story, I know the characters, but I have to pretend I don't know them and that I'm a stranger and I don't really know what's going on. And then she finds herself in situations in which the main characters that she's fallen in love with and learned about their stories, the story's not quite going the way they think it's going. So how do we do that? How do we live in this world? And it's also really interesting because our other main character, who also knows it's a fictional town and knows the story and is trying to tell Elsie to not change the story. So, you know, what do you do? Do you change the story? Is it the butterfly effect? If you change the story, does it change the books? So I really enjoyed the what if. I enjoyed the banter here in the story. I liked that you had Grumpy Sunshine, and you also had a character in Elsie who is learning to find herself after a breakup and watching her friends' lives move forward. And it's almost as if the town appeared for her in this moment to push her forward in her life. So I really enjoyed this. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And, you know, I'm curious how many like fan fiction stories exist in the world where you are basically putting yourself in this world that you love so much and you're changing the story. And it made me think, like, what would I do? How would I react if I ended up in this world? Is it the same thing as like meeting a celebrity in our real day lives? Or, you know, would it be a little different? So I highly encourage you to take a look at A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston and kind of think about what would you do in those moments of, I've ended up in my favorite fictional world. Now what?